Hello, welcome back to Modern Daze. We are episode 26. We triple checked; it's definitely 26. We are in the last, the last part of our series of opinions from players to characters. So this is the last one now before we move back over to questions again. Um, uh, and I think I'll start with Ken. Because I hardly ever pick on Ken, and I think that's wrong. So Ken, what does Liam think of Cadman?
Liam thinks nobody can be that nice and honest and decent. He is obviously hiding something. The fact that he's got all these illusions going on, he's just waiting for him to turn on the party and kill us all. So he's got his eye on Cadman as well, and he's prepared to drop him if need be.
If Liam ever falls asleep, someone's just going to see in his like trench coat. There's going to be named stakes for everybody in the party.
Yep. He's done some research on how to kill gargoyles. He's
including one that says Liam on it as well.
Oh yeah, he's got several that say Liam on
it. Okay, cool, excellent. Thank you very much for that. Ian, what is Ian's? What is Darrell's opinion of Hendrix?
So Hendrix, cute pooch. Although Darrell's the wrong gender to say that to his face. If how Hendrix reacted to Ash's girls was anything to be go by, he's an eye for the ladies, and he uses those sad puppy dog eyes as a good effect. He's a walking stomach and 4 legs though, so you better keep an eye on your rations. Deep down though, there's something sad about Hendrix, and not just the eyes. Every now and then you catch him staring longingly at a door as if waiting for someone to walk in, someone very special to him. He sees a party as his pack, and Darrell guesses he fancies himself to the alpha male, although the way he dodges a fight, maybe not.
That broke my heart. Okay, let's go. Andy, what is Baron's perception of Raffi?
So, Baron likes Raffi. I should say I'm Andy. I play Baron, who's one of the paladins. Baron likes Raffi, though it's sort of, and don't get me wrong, he doesn't look at him like a sort of parent-child relationship, but he does sort of. Raffi just seems to have that slightly annoying exuberance of youth. That's a bit grating for slightly sort of worn, old, grumpy. He's not that grumpy, Baron. And Raffi uses language occasionally that Baron doesn't understand. And so things know about things like gangs and stuff like that. But yeah, so he likes him, but it is sort of very much the exuberance, the boundless energy of Raffi is slightly irritating at points.
God damn it. Tip tap, let's go. Tom, what is Raffi's opinion of Baron?
Hi, I'm Tom. I play Raffi Matthews. Raffi, when he looks at Baron, he goes, "How old are you?" There is some times when he thinks he's not only older than he appears, but older than any human has any right to be. And yet he is human. So, well, at least he's open to some new experiences and learning some stuff, which is kind of nice. But as always, the youth doesn't trust the old. There's something about him that, has he made a deal with somebody to have this seemingly long life? There's something not quite on point there, and that actually intrigues and annoys Rafi
Mhm.
because he wants to
Mhm.
understand. But yeah.
You're working on the presumption that Berrin remembers. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh hell yeah! No, he's also got some suspicions. You know, you've made deals with like demons and undeads and all this sort of stuff to get this sort of long life. He's obviously not a lich because he can't cast any spells, but there's something there.
Maybe he's keeping them secret.
He's cast a few
Ooh,
spells.
maybe.
I mean, paladin spells, but he's cast a few spells.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But you know,
We should definitely have a chat, Rafi. Me, you, and me. There's
yeah.
There's
Oi,
a picture
knew
of
it.
an attic
I
somewhere.
knew it.
yeah. The picture of Baron.
A very,
Really
very old
haggard.
buried in a picture in an attic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
That
wood
big
cut.
old house with
It's a wood cut.
wood carving.
It's quite
Wood
old.
carving.
And last but very much not least, Kyle. Kyle, what is Cadman's opinion of Liam?
I'm Carl, play Cadman, the other paladin.
Ooh.
So, Cadman's thoughts on Liam. On one hand, he's concerned by him because his slight undead tinge of his nature. But
Like.
from personality-wise, it really saddens Cadman. Something's downright really destroyed something in his life or soul to make him that miserable and that close to the bottle that it just upsets Cadman a little bit. He wants to try and help, but doesn't know how to.
I know. Oh, Kyle, stop. My heart. I love it.
Brought a tear to my eye.
At one point, we will get Ben to write down all the ones he's missed.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's
We will
missing again
add them
tonight.
to the. Yeah, sadly, we are missing a Ben tonight. But we have been given the go ahead to continue on without him. Obviously, Hendrix will just follow along in the scene. Oh, we've lost Tom too as well. Oh well, what a shame. He'll come back in a minute. So recap from last week. You had all just finished up this fight in one of the bases of the Highgate Hellspawns. Had to get that right. Keep getting it wrong. You did some investigations. You intimidated some crew, gang members into living a much more crime-free life. Whether or not that worked is you may or may not find out. Liam discovered in the basement a teleportation circle, but one that wasn't linked to anywhere within this realm. And things began to move quite quickly once the runes of this started to light up, causing quite a bit of panic. It was quickly destroyed before it was fully opened, but shortly after, now aware that something wasn't quite right in one of their bases, it seems that the fiends and warlocks and tieflings and gang members had returned to the building on the upper floor, and our party fled the scene in a spectacular montage of
Mayhem.
mayhem. Yeah, pure mayhem. Everybody succeeded in what they were doing. Cadman specifically left with a member of the Highgate Hellspawns slung over a shoulder, which he had to make unconscious because he was making quite a bit of noise. At some point, it drew a bit too much attention to him, and he had to do a few loops around and a little bit of changing what he looks like to throw the tale of a curious youngster, and he's now currently I think somewhere within the Heath, Hampstead Heath, somewhere in the park, I believe, to avoid suspicion and finding it easier to travel than walking the streets with this person slung over your shoulder. Everybody else had split off and found their way. I said that sort of you guys can regroup into the Heath if you wanted to, or you can regroup at the any location you wish, to be honest. The ones nearby that most of you know is obviously Antonio's, which is a restaurant. It's a public restaurant for not just magical people, mundanes as well. So that needs to be taken into consideration as to what you're doing. And I think that's where we left off. So let's start there. Let's start with Cadman, because I think this part needs to be resolved more than anything. Cadman, what are you doing with this person?
So I believe I last looked like a policeman, and I was walking him back towards the through the heath towards the restaurant.
Okay, so you are heading towards the restaurant, and I believe this person was still unconscious. Though it's up to you whether you want to wait and rouse him so that he's walking. Are you just heading straight to the restaurant? What's the plan?
I'm gonna head straight to the restaurant. I'm gonna sort of half drag him as if he's drunk rather than.
Okay.
What time of day is it?
This early afternoon. You guys had headed over to the construction site just after noon, and now you are in the I'd say 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock time frame, roughly. If you guys are still heading towards the restaurant, other people can intersect. Anybody that comes across them will recognize the person that this police officer is carrying. You may not recognize the police officer, who is Cadman at the moment, because Cadman hasn't been this person before. But you can certainly see this unconscious person heading towards the restaurant. Where is everybody else? Let's start with Raffi. Where's Raffi?
I think I'm waiting outside the restaurant. I'll be sitting. If there's a bench nearby, I'll be sitting on the bench, going through my phone, but just keep looking up every now and again as if so I'm obviously waiting there for someone.
Yeah. Okay.
We rescued a girl, didn't we? Rescued a woman.
Yes. So hey, obviously you guys know that she's a tiefling. You can see the effects of the days sort of slipping over some of her features, making her look more just like a regular human for the mundanes. But obviously she still looks like a tiefling to you guys.
Do we have a picture of her?
I believe I shared it, but I will share it again.
You did.
Believe. Yeah, sorry. Her name is Jade Taylor, which she hasn't fully told you her name yet, but yeah. Did that pop up for everyone?
Yep.
Cool. And she is walking alongside you. I'd say she's with probably with somebody, either probably not Baron, because Baron was
I went up on my own
in that situation.
I went up on my own.
I think probably she's either with Raffi or Darrell, because Liam kind of did a slightly weird detour over some buildings, invisibly, and probably managed
No,
to
I think
detach himself.
she was with me because she could keep up with me.
Yeah, I think probably Hendrix is with you as well because you guys are
Yeah.
like super fast runnies.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then Darrell and Liam, you guys can arrive when you.
In that case,
around this time.
can I retcon me being outside, and I'll be inside at a table with her,
Okay.
and
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Hendrix, and we'll be in the days part of it.
Yes. You guys head straight in. There is a different person at the welcome desk now. It's a young lad. You kind of do the whole, yeah, we've got seats, so
Yeah.
And you head over to the other part. He doesn't stop you, and you head into the area where still quite quiet. There's maybe a couple more people in here now, but not many at all. And you find that booth is still empty, where you guys were sat before, and you can sit there.
Yeah.
So, Cadman, you're walking along with this person,
Yeah.
heading towards the shops. I'm going to say Darrell and Liam, probably coming from different directions, can intersect you at that point. But again, it's how would either of you approach the situation, not recognizing the person holding up the captain of the the Highgate Hellspawns, or one of the captains, I should say?
I guess Darrell would assume it's Cadman or take that line. So we'll probably walk up and go, can I give you a hand, officer? And see what his reaction is.
Yeah. Cadman, what is your reaction?
Oh, yeah. Certainly, citizen.
At this point, I know it's Cadman.
Yeah. There's no police officer in the world that talks like that.
Oh wow, that sounds like RoboCop.
Yeah. Oh right. Yeah. Do not be concerned, citizens.
So here you go, Cadman. I'll take the other arm and help him with this.
Okay, so you kind of sort of sling his other arm over your shoulder. Liam, you can kind of see this situation as well. You can fall into step if you wish.
I'll follow a discreet distance.
Okay, cool. We'll come back to Baron in a minute. So are you guys going into the restaurant?
I think that's a plan. I'll look to Cadman and go, is that the right look for this?
I mean, I can't really change in the open.
Make a perception check.
God.
Darrell, you can make one as well.
Okay.
I'm expecting Cadman to do something with the prisoner, kind of sacrifice him and eat him or something at any moment.
Liam's just
really?
We're going on a bit.
I don't need to do that. I can just put on.
Oh no!
Quickly.
Cool. The street looks empty. You can't see anything. There's no other leading up to this restaurant. You can't see a great deal of other shops or anything. But you don't know if there's going to be CCTV cameras coming, or and any kind of surveillance happen in most properties now.
Yes.
Say again?
Is there a back entrance and to a beer garden in this place or not?
Not really. This it's on a line of buildings, so it's like a if there was any gardens, it'd probably be round like the back part and not accessible by the public except through the restaurant itself. So it'd be quite difficult. There are plenty of alleys that you could always duck into.
You probably find the back door to the kitchen, because all the deliveries and stuff will come through the back, even in central London.
So you can
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
can. Are
whether
we
or
just going to
not-
walk into the back door of an establishment that we're not really
Yeah,
that well
yeah.
known at?
Mundane
No,
or
I mean, it
otherwise,
looks like
yeah.
a police officer. Look, all the kitchen crew will do is make sure that all the cocaine is hidden.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's the first priority. The second priority was making sure that things are suddenly all in date.
Oh no.
Is this guy still wearing all his Highgate Hellspawn regalia?
So
So
he wasn't.
it's recognisable to anyone in the know.
I didn't strip
Yeah,
him, no.
definitely.
Well, no, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
No, but it's valid. He's so the thing that's quite recognisable of to say that person is Highgate Hellspawn is the red balaclavas, which he is not wearing one, because he was in the building. He'd obviously taken it off. He was, you imagine from his location, probably dealing with the whole situation of interrogating Tay. So he hasn't got that on, but he's from his picture, which I'll put up now. There you are. There you go. So obviously he's not got any weapons on him. I'd say he probably just looks like a regular. Aside from the things, there's a couple of things in that picture that aren't accurate. So he's not wearing dog tags. And I'd say that he doesn't have like a utility belt of things. He looks like he's just got this leather jacket on, clearly well worn, and this coloured zipped up jacket, and the cargo pants, cargo trousers. So
Okay, well,
I'd say, unless anybody knows him personally from the Highgate Hellspawns, you'll probably be all right.
well, if you don't want to jump into an alley, then I can blag us into the restaurant. Just saying you're helping me bring him to his mates who are going to be in the back.
Yeah, we'll do
And
that.
then you can go in the toilet and change if you want.
Superman.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you come up to the door. You see this young lad. He looks a little bit surprised, and he goes, "Is everything okay? Can I help?"
Yeah, we just bring my mate here. There's a group of us out the back that we're getting together. He's had a little bit too much, so don't worry. There won't be any trouble. He's sleeping it off now. This police officer, this kind of officer's give me a hand.
Making sure there's no drunken disorderly.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage.
Which one?
I'd say whoever has the better bonus, because at this point you are both helping each other, as it were. So choose the person with the better bonus, and that person can roll twice.
Be me?
Having said this, I'm going to roll a 1 now. But I'm guessing it's me. I got plus 12. So
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
probably you then. Yeah.
How are you so persuasive?
It's
wouldn't you
fake.
like to know? Oh, fuck's sake! It's not a 1, but it's not far off it.
No, that's more than enough. He's
Did you roll with
fairly young and
advantage?
just kind of. You did
Oh,
roll with
no, I
advantage,
didn't.
yeah.
Good
You
call.
should be
I
rolling
didn't,
with advantage,
no.
yeah.
Glad someone's awake and
try
paying
again.
attention.
Yeah, well done. I was just so chuffed with myself having plus 12. No, I'll take the 17 then.
Plus
What
12.
tonight?
I rolled a 2. Yes. So you are. He springs into action. There's not a lot of people here, even in the mundane area. And so he kind of springs out from behind the little podium thing where they welcome people in, and starts like moving chairs out of the way to give you a path through. Doesn't really pay attention too much to where you're going, just to kind of be helpful. Liam, you can come in at this point and there's nobody at the podium, and you can just slip in without having to talk to anybody and just come into the restaurant.
Sounds great. I'll look around, see if I can see the others.
Yeah, so you if you follow through, you can either go as
The things that the non-mundanes are at the back, aren't they, normally? Is that right?
yeah,
In this place?
the magical people. It's sort of like slightly to the side,
Right.
basically as you
I'll head
enter
towards
and
the
turn that way.
magical area, and then
Yeah. You're not far behind those guys.
yeah.
You guys slip in through that archway that kind of leads into that dazed area. The Daze doing its work. He completely just not entirely forgets the incident, but just doesn't. It's nothing to him now, and kind of casually goes back to the podium without thinking any more of it. Baron.
Yes.
You have successfully found your way away from the area where you were shooting things up. You are dressed slightly differently now, if I remember correctly.
My jacket looks slightly different. It now looks, I think, like a sort of like a green. What's it? Yeah, it's like a sort of casual graphic jacket in olive green, rather than a brown duster style long coat.
Right. Cool. So it's different enough that any descriptions of someone of your height, weight, etc., but wearing those sort of clothing wouldn't necessarily be recognised.
Because I put a balaclava helmet on before I started shooting people, shooting guns as well. So there'd be no description of my hair or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you had to take a little bit.
Yeah.
Go on.
All my weaponry. And because of the risk, I normally have a pistol in an underarm holster that's not in my coat. I'll have stripped that off and put everything in my coat. So I don't have any weaponry on me at all.
Okey-dokey. Yep. So you're just regular Joe walking along. You start making your way back to the restaurant, slightly different way.
Mm-hmm.
You're a little bit behind everybody else. As you're walking along, your phone pings a few times.
Okay.
It sort of gives that, as in it vibrates to say it's got a message.
Well, I was actually thinking about sending a quick text message. I shall find somewhere to
pause for a moment.
To buy a coffee or something like that, and
okay,
and check out my phone.
All right. So you stop by. There's just it's London. You could probably walk a few meters.
A Costa or something like that.
Yeah. You duck in, buy yourself coffee, and look at your phone.
While I'm waiting for my coffee to be put together. Yep.
You have received a text message from the number that is listed under the name.
Is it John Shepperson?
That's it.
The one where I can't remember.
Yes.
I sent a message, but it was several episodes ago, and I can't remember what I said. It was something like, "Do we need to catch up?" or something like that.
Do we need to catch up? And the reply comes back. I think it's about time, old friend. Let me know when you're ready. I'll meet you at the hotel.
I would know this in character, but the hotel does that have to be accessed from Birmingham?
The hotel, much like that shop you first went into, has, or similar-ish, has entrances in any major city. So you won't find it in just a village wherever, but any big cities, and not necessarily just in England either.
But you always have to go out the door. You have to go out the.
You'll find an entrance to this hotel.
But when you exit, you always exit from where you entered. That was it. Yeah.
Yes.
So do I know where
So
the entrance is in London?
there's plenty, and you haven't been recently. I'd say roll me a history check. Yeah, you there are a few different entrances for London around the city, and there is the more central you go, the more sort of more often they are. I'll say that you can name a place, and it'll be there. It's not exactly where you are right now. You'd probably have to find your way a little bit more. 30 minutes from where you are, sort of thing.
Okay.
Everything in London's kind of, quite close together.
Yeah. Okay. So somewhere near Oxford Street or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And you wanted to send a message, or
Sorry. So I should reply to that saying, working at the moment. We'll let you know when I can get there. It would be good to catch up.
you get a reply back. It just says astounding. This is a confirmation.
I'm then going to text another contact of mine who I'm going to have to remind you who he is. Webby.
This is an old army contact of yours.
Yep, who is now an arms dealer.
That's right. I remember roughly.
He runs a pub in Southeast London. I'm just trying to get. Sorry, I keep scrolling to it because it's buried in a Discord chat between the two of us. I'm just. It keeps coming off it. He's runs a pub in Southeast London somewhere. And I'm just going to text him and say, I've got a bit of potential business for you. I'm buying. When would be good to come and see you? And quite often he doesn't do business in his pub. So when we're good to come and see you, and where?
Okay. So this person is somebody who operates. Is it mundane or magical?
Yeah, absolutely mundane. He's no idea. He's no idea that about in my background, but he has started to note that I don't appear to age. We work together. What year is it currently in this game? I've forgotten.
2022.
2022. So we worked together about 14 years ago as private military contractors in both Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And so since that time, Beren doesn't appear to have aged, whereas he has and has changed and stuff. And so he has started to comment that Beren doesn't age, doesn't seem to ages well rather. And sort of Beren is conscious that fairly soon he's going to have to stop making any contact with this guy. But
trying to get out the best of it whilst you can, sort of thing.
Yeah.
He replies back and says, anytime next week.
Okay, what day of the week is it at the moment?
Well, I did put an actual date down at some point. I think it was on the Discord. Hang on 2 seconds. I can get. Be info. Yes. So, it is currently 17th of November, 2022. We can figure out the day of that. 17th. Thursday. You're on a Thursday.
Yeah. I should just reply. It might need to be sooner than that, with the corresponding price increase.
There's a delay in the thing. You get your coffee. You don't get a reply straight away. And I think after you've sort of, are you just going to have a sit down and just
No, I'm going to start walking, but
have, or
sipping
you
my
good
coffee.
to
Is
go?
like, yeah.
I think you start making your way mostly back to the restaurant, and you get another reply that says, how about this Saturday evening?
Yeah, I should. I'll reply. Yeah. I'll let me know where and when. But he can reply.
Perhaps rather infuriatingly, he says usual place and time. There is, however, a text history on this phone that you can spend some time going back over.
I'm working out where the hell that is. Yeah.
And work out where that is.
Yeah.
Which we will decide later.
Yep.
Okay. So let's say, and that's Webby, was it?
Yeah.
Webby.
Craig Webb, I think his name is.
Yeah. For weapons.
Yeah, I've not specified anything because you wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Wouldn't. Yeah.
Do you want to know what I want to try and go and buy as a referee?
Yeah, you can do. I'll just put a note here.
Because it's going to be expensive and not even sure you can get it because I want to try and get some hand grenades.
You're not having a tank. Hand grenades.
Hand grenades.
And grenades.
But
cool. Just casual.
Just because if we're going to start ramping things up with submachine guns and stuff like that, and fuck it, let's start throwing grenades around as well.
Amazing. All right.
What's this we? It's all you, Andy. All you. There is no we.
Well, no. Technically, they fired a submachine gun at me first. Therefore, that's the we.
Technically. Oh, okay.
That's the we bit, yeah.
All right.
You had a submachine shotgun anyway.
In the meantime, whilst this is happening, because Baron's probably about 15-20 minutes to do that on his detour. You guys have entered the area. Darrell, Cadman, you can see Raffi, Hay, and Hendrix at the at a booth. There is Lysandra, who's still on shift currently, who sort of just gives you a quick wave, but is busy serving other people. And Liam, you can follow in shortly behind. What is it you wish to do?
I'll start off saying, looking at Hendrix. Oh, they allow dogs on the furniture here, then, did they? Okay, fair enough. And we plonk down the unconscious.
He just scratches himself.
Yeah.
Just getting fur everywhere.
I brush the seat off. Who's done that? Plonk down the guy from, well, albeit Cadman's happy to put him down here.
Yeah.
And then walk around and sit down the other side.
Okay. You squeeze him in there. Everyone fits around this booth. It's quite a big one. Cadman, you are in a place where you could freely change your appearance and it wouldn't be too blinked at. But it's up to you whether you wanted to do that. You are muted, my guy.
So I'll go back to the student look. Raffi's student look.
Okay. You're image shimmers, it turns into seamlessly between police officer to student. You take a huge pay cut, and you now owe a lot of student debt. And Liam, you can come and join.
I'll order some drinks.
And Hendrix.
So is that for
Hendrix
you or for
sort of
anyone
like-
else?
Whatever.
He just likes the taste of it. He can't even get drunk.
Well, no, right.
Apparently, he's got too much money burning in his pocket. Hay is kind of looking between this guy that's now at the table that's unconscious and you guys, and goes, so what is your plan with keeping this guy?
Bound to go wrong, whatever it is.
Well,
So
Rafi needs to talk to him and ask about your mate, don't you?
There's a cider.
yeah, exactly. The main reason for going and see these guys is to find out where Ozzy is and what the fuck's going on with him. But I'll look over at Jade, because you guys don't seem to know what's going on with him either, do you?
No, but I did hear a lot of stuff whilst they were trying to chat with me, about them going into, the limbo area and whatnot.
Weren't we,
If
Right.
it,
weren't we after finding out what the war was about? Why they were fighting each other?
it was about
so-
the territories being lost.
I don't think. Oh, sorry, I didn't do my accent. I don't think it was about this guy. That's for you, Rafi, isn't it? We're
yeah,
here for-
so
that's kind of
yeah.
sideline.
I'm here to find out what's going on with Ozzy.
I mean, I also
by
want
the
to find
sounds of
Ozzy because I want to give him a clip.
Yeah. But by the sounds of it, I mean, we didn't know how bad it was, but this guy seems to have a bit more information than you, Jade. So, gotta have a word with this guy.
She doesn't look offended at all.
No. So, Jade, what did you hear whilst they were being arses to you?
What that they'd had some people that, like, their lieutenant got taken out by Ozzy. Big guns. They were asking me about it, asking if Six had called a hit on it. Obviously, I was like, no, because as far as I know, no, that's not what he was sent to do. But they weren't going to take that for an answer. I think that they're just as clueless as we are. They seem to think that it was all us, and I've obviously, my guys think that it was all them. Now I've seen that that's not the case. I want to know what exactly this whole thing that's happening in Limbo is about. That's got to be related to the territories. It's got to. It's the whole, souls and whatnot. The flow of
So-
traffic has changed.
So, do you think if can you take that back to Six and basically let him know what's going on and see if they can come to some sort of truce?
If I go back to Six right now, he'll have that piece of information. I will no longer be living. I need to go to him with more than just information right now. I need to either bring back Ozzy to explain himself or find out what's happened with the souls. Or both. Preferably. Maybe
So
one leads to
how
the
does
other.
this link into the gin and the text? There's something going on that's
What gin?
I was asking them.
I asked for
not her.
cider.
But
That was going to go
Um,
up to the. Oh, sorry, go.
yeah, no, yeah, So potentially there's a new player. Something that we found out about. Didn't think it was big, but potentially this thing could be an issue. Don't know.
That be
Um,
could it? Because there's some reason that the two gangs are fighting each other. They think that
Yeah.
it's something's playing them up against each other, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
that thing be whatever
potentially.
is?
I mean, we didn't know what that thing was when we found out about it. Didn't we? We have got no idea about what his plans are or anything. I mean, we thought it was linked to what we were hired to do in the first place. Oh, yeah.
I
Looks
think
like
we've
we
got,
need
I don't know
to
what you guys are
got
talking
to
about.
go to limbo to find out.
if we want to go to limbo. I've been there before. I've been somewhere similar before. It's not fun.
It's also not easy to get there.
Yeah. So
Darrell says this calls for a serious drink. He goes off to the bar. He comes back with a frozen strawberry daiquiri with an umbrella and a cherry in it, and plonks it down and gives Tay her cider, and then starts
Thanks, mate.
noisily slurping.
She goes to drink it and then just kind of looks at you over the top of it and just goes, and then drinks it. I'm just doing a quick perception check. Sort of raises it in thanks. I think Baron could probably have made his way back now. So you can come back sort of into the you have a interaction with the lad at the door.
Mhm.
Doesn't need too much. You look like an irregular guy, and you
Actually,
come in.
before I go in, I want to send another text message.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Your minutes are running really low. No, I'm joking. Please top up your phone.
No, I will. I will. We'll
It's
plug in
not
a charge. Plug in a charger. Don't worry. I've forgotten her name. What's the lady I've worked for on the Mercy Ashcroft?
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna text her
Yeah.
and say, still investigating in London. Anything new you want to tell me? Question mark. And then I'm going to walk in before I can get any
Yeah.
reply, just to give you
Yeah.
enough free time to think about that.
More about the. I know the reply. I just. I don't think it'll be straight away.
Okay.
So you enter in. You know that in this place, the reception is spotty because of days.
Yeah.
You could still get stuff, but it's just going to take a little bit longer. You head over to the. You can see the table that everybody's at. Everyone's discussing whatnot, and you can hear the tail end. And Tay saying, "So you guys know."
Sorry,
of a
just to be
third-
clear, the prisoner is still unconscious, isn't he?
fully just sparked. So yeah, Tay is like, you guys seem to know something that understandably you're not telling me, but what is it? Just tell me. Like, at this point, I'm completely at your mercy. I
We don't really
can't go
understand,
anywhere. Or, is it another gang member? Like, is it one of the other gangs?
Oh no.
we
Well, I don't
don't
think so.
know. There's so many bits that we don't know. It could be absolutely no link whatsoever to it. It could be the link to what's going on. We have no idea. I think we're going to have to call in some favours, hit a few books, do the boring stuff, do the Sherlock Holmesing.
I've missed the start of this
Yeah.
conversation. What are you trying to find out about?
You know the thing that came out of the big black scary thing when we first met up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the third player that's putting the Hellspawn against Six's lot? FOA.
Like, we've been fighting for, like, since forever, by the way.
Yeah, no,
It's
we
just-
get that, but it's ramped up, hasn't it? When did it start ramping up?
I'd say in the past 2 years. Recently, there's been sudden, I'd say in the past, like, week, there's been way more activity, upside, but in the hells about 2 years. So, or at least from when I know about it, I started working for Six about 3 years ago.
So, this whole trafficking of souls thing, that started about 2 years ago?
Yeah, or at least
Oh,
stuff
well,
started to go a little bit weird with territory stuff down below.
Oh, well, in that case, yeah, that's nothing to do with the thing that we're talking about.
I mean, yeah, but there's this other thing that is
Are you sure it's nothing
like,
to do with it?
If things have
thing
ramped
got-
up, yeah. If things have ramped up in the last week,
No, what I'm saying is the souls thing is nothing to do with what we saw, but the ramping up could be to do with what we
Okay.
saw.
Right, right.
You see what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah, but surely
Um, sorry, go on.
to ramp things up top side, it has to have a force. And all we've seen is the Efreets.
Yeah, so
Surely just
the souls thing could be completely separate to the increase of hostilities. The fighting's been going on between these two for fucking ages. So, but this sudden increase could have nothing to do with the souls thing. It could just be somebody trying to carve out a new, putting their stamp, putting their presence, making their presence known.
Are we sure that Efreet was imprisoned? And because when it came out, it seemed to know exactly what it was doing, where it was going, and that doesn't sound like something that's been imprisoned for a long time, does it?
As a OC question, so when I did the walking around Renfield Manor and I did all the thinking and working out what it was, I got a nat 20. Would I know if a djinn that is trapped, can they influence the outside world, or are they completely contained and isolated?
From all, I think you're working things out that nat 20 was to do with what was happening right there in the mansion.
Okay,
If
so do you
you're
want me to make a
trying to
roll
figure out, I would like you to make a roll. It could be religion, potentially arcana, potentially history. I think religion will give you is a lower DC, but history and arcana are also substitutes for that. But it will just tell me which one you're using. I'd say you can do so with advantage. Just because of all the other bits of information that's kind of already been discovered.
Okay,
I've
so
just found my notes on this. I'm just putting it in the
Yeah, go for it.
chat.
Yeah.
There was some book about jinn and other demons. So a jinn is definitely a form of demon.
Yeah.
And we identified Prince Jadaba,
Dadba.
I'm doing
Jadba, who's married, which is some kind of senior jinn.
doing
Big boy gin.
religion.
Okay. So, along with the notes that Beren has, you're able to figure out, especially you'd seen specifically the Seal of Solomon, which was, or one of the Seals of Solomon, which was the on the vase, thing. This when they're inside, that they cannot have any influence on the outside. They're completely trapped within. They are very, very old. They wouldn't have been able to they themselves would not have been able to do any of the stuff with the souls. What you're trying to look for is potentially a link between them, which implies that something else was doing it, and they're linked in that way. There's another piece that is, which
Could the married that was trapped
Yep.
communicate with the Ifrits that weren't trapped?
No. So the Ifrit were also in the
sorry.
vessel.
Okay.
Yeah. So when it broke, this married and the other jinn, the Ifrit, all came out of it.
Right.
It wasn't just the married. Yes. And in fact, Tay is kind of sitting there listening to what you're saying. She goes, "What is an Ifrit?" You keep mentioning it.
Type of jinn.
You've seen,
The
you've
type
seen
of demon.
Aladdin. So you know Aladdin.
What, the
Disney
film?
cartoon.
Disney film?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking
Disney
loved
film.
Aladdin. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so a jinn is a genie.
Right, which is also a demon. I mean, I don't know a great deal of demons. I know the demons that, family history, but like, they don't, not anything that I've ever heard Six working with, or anything. I've never heard of them.
So we just got to find out who Daria was working for then. Hang on, Daria wasn't Daria like a simulacrum or something?
Yeah.
Boy, she was.
Yeah.
But we don't know who for and what.
But also, what we suspected was that Daria had taken in that vase and deliberately broken it to release those things. That was the theory before, I think.
Oh, so and they're very old, so they could be connected to whatever's. They could be connected to whatever's pulling the strings. They could be kind of troops or whatever of it, and that's why they were released, because they needed whoever it is needed them to get out and do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Darrell, simulacrum.
Yep.
Does that require the person who is being simulated to still be alive, or can you make the simulacrum and then kill the original person?
I don't know. Out of character. I'm sure Darrell will have an idea of that. But,
Arcana check, please.
Do you need to have the Arcana skill to try and give them advantage by discussing it?
I would say in this context,
I hope I don't need more than
Probably not
29.
needed.
Oh, you rolled 29.
Proficiency,
Okay.
yeah, you're fine.
Sorry, I hadn't seen the dice roll.
Amazing. Okay.
While we quickly read the wording of the spell.
Yeah. Okay. Darrell knows from his studies, those long hours spent with the law masters in very, very boring rooms, the droning. Simulacrum is one of those spells that's quite interesting, actually. It doesn't actually say it in the spell, but I'm going to rule that you do need a live person to do it. The creature is the creature is a construct that is made from it, and it is friendly to you and the creatures that you designate, and will obeys spoken commands and acts in accordance with the creator's wishes. The simulacra doesn't have to be person themselves. It could be done on somebody else.
Yeah.
So somebody could have made a simulacrum of someone else and put them out into to do a job, basically. You do know Hendrix kind of speaks up and says, about the time when we all arrived at the mansion, although Raffi says that the person who answered the door was a simulacrum, I smelt that there must have been a person living there, so I think that woman, Daria, the real one, had just left or was still there at the time.
So maybe they have kidnapped her at that point to replace her with a simulacrum to get the vase with the Ifrits and the married in.
Do we know how long?
Or she was already there. Either or. We don't know anything about this woman. Renwick seems to trust her, but yeah.
Okay, so
She's either being held hostage, and as a way to get close to. Did we ever figure out why they would have targeted, other than maybe this vase thing?
we couldn't find any direct enemies of Renwick.
I don't think they were an enemy of Renwick.
No.
They wanted that thing, that vase, with the
Yeah,
sole purpose of releasing those things in it.
Yeah, because Renwick's got a reputation for being like not only a recluse, but a bit of a like a researcher and academic, doesn't he?
Yeah, like
maybe we should could we do some digging to find out who would know what stock he had, who would know that he had that vase?
Yeah,
because it must be on some sort. They must have found out somehow, mustn't they? So however they found out, we might be able to find out who it was who found that out. Do you get me?
So yeah, no, I completely get you. But I just had a thought about scrying. Is that a thing that can be done? I don't know how it works.
Oh, it's a skill that can be done. Don't look in this room for anyone who's got that particular skill. But
Okay.
Doesn't involve fire, unfortunately. But let's not forget, do we not decide that the stranger was killed by a demon that seemed to have very similar characteristics to the Efreet?
Yeah, we've forgotten that. You're quite right. Or I'd forgotten that anyway.
I hadn't.
And we did think, I think at the time, that we thought that was done to keep us in the bubble realm.
Yeah.
Someone didn't want us back. Again, we seem to be just adding more fuel to a fire that we're in no control of it at the moment.
So,
And I think
what are
more and more conjecture is only making that less controlled. I think we need to try and start cutting through some, rather than throwing more ideas at it. We need to try and define, try and bring down what we know to. I don't know. It would seem like mere coincidence then that the Efreets were released, and it causes trouble in London. I don't know. It all seems too much of a coincidence.
Too much of a coincidence. I think they're linked. They got to be.
I think it was just our egos. Looking back at it, I think it's our ego saying that it was to keep us over there. Maybe
I don't think it was just to keep us, because we know as well that other circle spirits, all the other circle spirits have gone to ground, haven't they? Because a lot, and I'm guessing that's because more of them were killed than just the stranger.
But we know.
So what do we know? Why would they be killing circle spirits? How does that link in? Because that.
Well, as on circle spirits, Cabman, did you get to talk to the circle spirit that lives near here, or has it gone?
It's gone, isn't it? That's
yeah.
He's elsewhere.
Do you?
Didn't he go up to Birmingham with Antonio, or did he?
No, Antonio went to Birmingham to find out what's going on.
Yeah. So did Bountiful Harvest go with Antonio, or did he just go to hiding? I can't remember.
Hiding.
Not to ground.
Circle spirits cannot leave the direct area from where they belong.
Yeah. So
right.
So
they've got a radius.
Bountiful Harvest. Is it worth some of us, probably led by Cadman, going to try and talk to Bountiful Harvest to see what Bountiful Harvest can add to this mess?
We'd have to find Bountiful Harvest first.
So you know that
you can find them if they don't want to be found.
Cadman. Your order.
Yeah.
Specifically works alongside the circle spirits.
Yeah.
And obviously it doesn't revolve specifically around them, but it's quite possible that you all know, I think you've probably forgotten, but that Bountiful Harvest has disappeared along with the rest of these things. They've gone what was described as dormant. I think Lysandra had described the incident that was told to her. She wasn't there. That Bountiful Harvest had a moment where he looked very scared or in pain. He'd screamed and then disappeared. Although you know that he can't be dead because of that, it would be a little bit more. More people would have known about it. The only reason that nobody really knew about the stranger is because he's so isolated and you guys were literally the only ones there. Though it wouldn't have remained secret for very long, but they found out sooner because you guys had told the Majors Council. If that had happened to Bountiful Harvest, it's centre of London sort of thing, definitely would have been like, oh my god, Bountiful Harvest has been killed. It's a big, huge thing. This is definitely a case of he's still present. He has to be somewhere, but nobody is able to contact him. But you don't know who's tried, because most people don't really know how to deal with circle spirits. The Mages Council, specifically the Senior Mages Council, are assumed to be very knowledgeable in this area, and they deal with controlling it, assumedly. Your order has ways to communicate with them. You've not really come across this situation before, but potentially that's a place to start for you, is to find a quote unquote temple, which can be anything you wish, close by, and Bountiful Harvest being close by, it would likely be all you need to do is reach out, sort of talk to somebody that maybe you know, to find out where contacts for that would be, to figure out how to talk with this circle. And actually, whilst you're meditating and thinking of that, can Cadman make me a nature check?
Certainly.
Just while that dice was going on, Raffi, you talked about scrying. Who do you want to scry?
Well, Daria, if she's still alive, then presumably she's being held somewhere.
Because I may know someone who could do that for us.
So
It'd be good to
I don't
find
know
her,
how it works. So if we can find her, then let's say presumably she's been held by.
She might know something.
Yeah,
The people who are holding her might know something.
exactly. So
Hmm.
that is, I think.
Something else to do. Cadman can look for Bountiful Harvest. We also couple of us look for Daria.
Cadman, with that roll, you just get an odd feeling of loss,
Okay.
as if you're feeling a little bit untethered. No worries. So the contacts you can try, Lysandra has some knowledge about who might be close by to help deal with this stuff. For scrying purposes, did I hang on? I put this in the chat. That's the question. I believe I gave you guys. I say I give you guys. During the investigation of the room in which it's too far up. I've actually gone past it. Not past it, but it's thingied. You got some scrolls from that room, and I believe one of them was scrying potentially. Or my notes. Typical.
So I do know someone who can scribe, but the only problem is they're over in Iran.
Well, I know
So-
several people have probably got the ability. It's just whether we want to bring them in. I probably need to check in with my boss at some point, and he might have some insight.
Yeah. I mean, my contacts are scattered across the globe, so yeah.
What level spell
Annoyingly,
is
I don't
Scry?
have this.
It's
I
just
think it's only a level 3 or something,
fifth,
I think. Maybe. Let's have
I
a look.
might need 6 hours and a night's rest, and I could probably do it myself if you've got a scroll.
If we got a scroll, yeah. Let me just double check.
The fifth level spell.
That's not a thing. Where are you?
Well, if unless we know someone who's actually we can buy a scroll off of, some sort of scribe wizard or maybe an artificer or something.
So the scrying spell. Who can do scrying? Quite a few people. Okay.
Yeah, bard, cleric, druid, paladin,
Yeah.
warlock, wizard. Paladins can do it.
It's
Interesting.
fifth level. Fifth level.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember whether or not I've given you the scroll for it, but we'll move on from that.
If it's not written
you-
down, then assume we haven't got it. If nobody's got it written down,
I'll look back over the episode 24, I think it was. I would have said in it. But after this,
I'm sure Baron
this
knows
session.
somebody you could buy it from.
yeah.
Anybody
buy
can
the
make
scroll.
me a I'd say a history check for
Brilliant at history.
just brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely.
Everybody can
amazing.
do it because everybody's got contacts and friends and whatnot that they could potentially call upon or know if they've got the ability to cast. Oh, buddy.
You have to know my history's terrible. I sleep too much.
Yeah. Beren, do you want to throw me a history check, please?
What's going on?
Everybody's trying to think of people that they could possibly ask to see if they could do a scrying spell.
Oh,
Or we
yeah.
can buy a scroll off of.
Darrell. Go on, quickly.
I was going to say, I've already mentioned that I might know someone.
Oh, have you? Okay.
Yeah, he did actually.
So,
yeah.
Darrell, there are ways to get scrolls. They usually have to be commissioned. You could potentially ask through Spence if it's relevant to your investigation, but it takes a little while to get to you. It'll be like a day or two or a week if the person's busy, depending on the situation. It's a 5th level spell, which means that it's not going to be something you ask for lightly. It's going to be fairly expensive, but again, the expense could potentially be wrangled through business assets. Depends on how you word it or whether you pass that persuasion check to get it. All right. So you guys have kind of coming together to sort of discussing all these things. Whose passive perception is above 20?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hendrix as
So
well. Isn't it?
I believe Hendrix, but for the purposes of this, he's busy
20.
sniffing people's fucking. It is 20. That's fine. So Beren and Raffi, you start to you notice that this guy that's unconscious at the table his breathing has got to a steady pace, and you can tell at this point that he's come into consciousness and he's feigning sleep. But it's only been because everybody's passive perception is ridiculously high. You
gonna-
haven't said anything
I'm going to kick
that
him
you
in the
don't
chin.
need to say. Ah! What's that for?
Stop pretending to be asleep.
Why am
No,
I
you're
here?
awake.
Why is she here? Why? You guys are in so much fucking trouble, man.
Told you my friend had
Yeah,
some
sure.
questions.
First
Ask him
off,
questions then.
I
First
stick another
off-
strawberry daiquiri in front of him.
Doesn't deserve
Stop
that. I'll
with the
take it away.
Maybe a persuasion check. He's just looking at you. He doesn't trust your bullshit.
first off, stop giving us the attitude. You could have quite happily been left there for dead. You've got him, and point to Cadman, to thank for you still being able to talk. Okay?
He knocked me out.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
and
wait. No, actually. He's like, who's Cadman? I've never seen this guy before.
Yeah.
No, I look like the student that we assaulted as.
Oh, right. So you are like,
Yeah.
I'm the
You've got him to thank for you
Capoeira
still
student.
being able to talk. Yeah. So stop with the attitude.
he looks at the daiquiri, and just kind of, he's clearly thirsty. Just sit back down.
Right. First off, Aussie.
Who's Aussie?
Insight check.
He's lying. You can tell.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, he's a bad liar.
I've got a passive of 20 anyway for insight.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
I don't
give
know
us
who Aussie
that.
is.
Don't give us that. You're starting to wear my patience. Where is Aussie?
We need to change locations. Let's stop sitting in a nice bar where he gets given a nice drink. Let's go into the that building place where there was all the building work going on. And
No, that's right outside. That's right outside his gaff.
Well, no, there's a.
No, it's right outside his gaff because we had to go through the door, the portal to get to his gaff.
Was that portal still there?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought for some reason it disappeared after being used, but I don't know if I know because
We can make it not work.
It's anybody can roll me an Arcana. But in fact, I don't need it. Fucking Darrell knows. It was a one shot all through. That place was a stage ground for a fight. It's not the gateway to his base. They don't regularly go there.
Okay. But we whether it's there or somewhere else, let's take him somewhere where people
we can torture him.
Well, where people won't be bothered by screaming.
No.
Make me an intimidation check, Baron.
Okay.
With advantage?
Is anyone backing me up to give me advantage?
With advantage because I said torture him. I flashed my.
I was about to say, yeah. With advantage.
I still
oppose it disadvantage because I said no torture.
Did you? I didn't hear. I don't think
he
he is
did.
that. To be fair, it's roll it with advantage.
But okay, we'll roll again then.
Yeah.
Oh well, clearly he's listening more to Cadman than to me.
Yeah. He kind of. What are you gonna do? Knock me out again?
Start cutting digits off.
No.
What, in the middle of this really nice restaurant?
No, that's why I said we're going to go somewhere else and do that.
No.
Well, I'm not going with you.
Yeah, we'll just make sure that you get back to 6. I'm sure Tay would like to hand you over to 6.
I think Tay's going to back you up in this and sort of just double down and be sort of like, yeah, I think he's really interested for a conversation with you. You may make an intimidation check with advantage.
Please let me be as good as it was last time. Please. Please.
Double ones. Double ones.
Oh, I didn't do advantage. There you go.
He's just sitting back in his chair, and he goes, "Look, if you were going to take me to 6, you would have done it by now. What is it that you want to know? Why have you dragged me all this way? I don't know anything. You want to know about Ozzy? He's just some kid from the FOA they sent to go and kill Hayes. I don't know how he did it either. His scrawny looking motherfucker just comes in, rips up his gaff, and well, I don't really know what happened, but Hayes is dead now, so
Who's Hayes?
he's our lieutenant. Or was.
Your boss.
Well, yeah, he was my boss.
Where's Ozzy
That's
now?
why we were talking to her. But she claims that she don't know.
Where did Ozzy go? After he did this.
I don't know. It didn't. All I know is
How do you
that they found. Like, all I know is that a bunch of our guys went over to his gaff after they got an alert. Well, obviously they're all sort of alarmed and whatnot. Got a distress call, and they go to the place, and literally Hayes and all his boys are completely massacred. Looked like an animal had been in there.
So how do you
Completely
know?
ripped
How do you
the
know
place
it was? How do you know that it was this guy Ozzy then?
Well, because the fucking Nvidia sent her people round to go and investigate, and now that we've been sent out to find out what happened. Then we find Tay, because she's supposed to be in charge of this quarter.
But
So you
she
still
don't know anything
So
that
you
her
still
boys
got
did.
no evidence it was Ozzy.
No, they have footage of him in the place. They have footage of him going in, and then apparently everything goes a bit fucking wrong. So, Rafi, you remember certain devices that certain fiends and such can have. I say fiends, magical people in establishments and things like that record what you saw Ozzy being attacked in the Slimelight pub, in the bar.
Yeah.
So from that, you're kind of inferring that they have a similar way to record things that have happened without it being like a CC, like a mechanical thing, technological thing.
And Rafi, this Aussie guy is a student of yours.
Yeah. Well, he was.
Could Ozzy be possessed like those creatures those guys those women that we saw? Could Ozzy have been converted into a simulacrum as well?
Start looking at Tay.
What?
What is the FOA's handle on possessions?
Only by those that have earned it, mate. Ozzy's like a 17-year-old scrub. He's not gonna. They're not gonna use him as a vessel. It's like a high fucking honor or punishment, depends how you see it. But that hasn't happened from our area. If he has been possessed, weren't by one of us.
Insight check.
And yeah, make an insight check. And this guy, this captain, who I still haven't figured out the name for because I've forgotten it, responds, "Well, none of our guys possessed him. Wouldn't dare. Why?
So
and then
that's
attack
something
our
else-
own people?
That's
Doesn't make
something
any
else
sense.
that points to a third player trying to cause trouble.
Oi, it does.
Or it's just the FOA making excuses.
No,
Tay just stares daggers.
no,
Yeah,
it's third. It's
27 on the
a third
inside.
player. It's definitely a third player.
So, from your insight, you can tell that both Tay and this guy are being truthful because they're so baffled by this situation. They don't know where to start a lie. There is some obvious lies from this guy, which was him just trying to be awkward at the beginning, which is I don't know who Ozzy is, blah blah blah. But she genuinely doesn't know, or not that she doesn't know. She knows for a fact that they wouldn't have chosen Ozzy for a vessel. So you saw 2 vessels that were at the Hellspawn's place. They're all like powerful and decked out. Their vessels are generally not super young, but not old either. You know what I mean? They're they're a little bit like you wouldn't buy a smart car to go to a fucking race in. You know what I mean? You want something a little bit more hardy.
Yeah. All right.
Ozzy's not really prime real estate. But you
but if he's just being used as a weapon, then they wouldn't really care how long he lasted for, just that he did last for a bit of time.
Yeah, he could be a disposable vessel. Absolutely, 100%. But from Tay's perspective, she doesn't believe that they would have done that. And from what she said, Six and her other uppers in the gang have ordered for a similar investigation to be done, along with this guy on his side of the fence. They're all trying to find the answers to this, and nobody's coming up with anything because they're too busy pointing fingers at each other.
Right. All right, boss. Listen. First off, what's your name?
Simon. Write it down.
Okay.
So Berin laughs. That does not. That doesn't fit with the persona you trying to portray.
No insight required. That is not his name.
Yeah. Sai. I can guarantee you, they know fuck all. You know fuck all about the whole thing with Ozzy. Okay. Someone is playing you off against them, trying to weaken both sides. Okay.
All right.
We need to know who that other person is, which means you need to stop having
fucking knew, mate.
Mate, if you need to stop having a Barney with them, and then I'll turn to Tay, and you need to stop having a Barney with them.
Oh. I'll just walk up to Invidia, shall I? Just go straight up to her and say, you know that lifelong rivalry you've had with Six? It's fine. Leave it behind because some other dickhead's got involved. I can't go to... I don't have any control over this. I'm just a soldier.
Like I said, you can just quit. Go sort yourself out a better life. Like I told you, other guys that ran off.
At the idea of it. He's and Tay sort of like also a little bit like,
stop being demons bitches and go get yourself a better life.
So we're not.
I don't know if you know how this works. We don't get a choice.
Truce. A truce. Do you reckon you could?
You want
the pair of you? Do you reckon you could get like a temporary truce for a couple of days? Allow both sides to lick their wounds and give us a bit of a chance and you a bit of a chance to do some investigation without the other side coming down and smashing your heads.
I mean, when we left our hideout, one of our teams had moved in, are probably scrubbing the building now. It's already out of my hands, mate. Like, I could go back, but I'll probably get punished for not moving the objective and getting everyone killed. And
exactly. So this is the perfect time for you to just
disappear,
cut your losses, and disappear.
Oh, where am I gonna go? Where am I gonna go before they find me? You got anywhere? You gonna pay for me to go on holiday?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. Where do you want to go?
He does an insight check. Are you telling the truth? Like,
Yeah,
are you
I
being
can
genuine
guess
and
him.
serious?
I can guess him anywhere in the world. I can, and I could probably set him up with a different persona.
Baron, at this
By
point,
using the 13.
Baron, at this point,
Yeah,
just
go on.
gets up and walks away, muttering under his breath, "I think he just needs a 9mm retirement plan." Baron's going to another part of the restaurant and sitting down and getting his phone, and he's texting John and trying to, when there's some reception, to try and arrange to meet.
Okay. You can step into the mundane area and easily get a thing. There's plenty of you can't sit down at a table because they're thingy, but you could go to the bar on that side of the building and sit and just be left alone.
Rafi, I think we are wasting our time to want to get these two idiots to get some kind of truce. They know nothing. They're no help to us.
Yeah, I want to help, says Tay. Look, I'm willing to help. I'm useful in a fight.
Well, maybe you're useful. This Simon's no use.
Yeah, your friend gave him a retirement plan. I'd say go for that.
Yeah. Well, how do we find this? We want to push to work out who this third player is. That's what we should be doing. We should be looking getting Baron to sort scrying out. What about this? Could we look at the footage or whatever of Ozzy? Maybe that could give us some clues of what's going on. Use some magic on it to see. It's obviously a magical recording. Could we work out, see anything through the cracks? What about Limbo? What's that about? Could we not go there? We're just wasting our time with this pair.
Yeah. So Simon, quotation marks, sort of listens to you talking, and he's looking. He's sort of flicking his eyes back to Raffi occasionally. The faint glimmer of hope on his face, and he goes, "I can probably get hold of that footage for you if you did see it, if it helps you.
All right.
But you got to let me go. You got to let me go, and you help me get away. Like today."
All right.
I was always going to let you go. I wasn't going to let these people kill you. Not this time. If I find you causing more trouble again, I won't stop them.
Yeah,
I'll probably do it myself.
I'm not sure I'm friends with you, mate. You knocked me out. All right. You are weirdly strong for such a scrawny little kid.
I mean, you've seen
I
what
don't know
really
what any
look
of
like.
your deals are. I don't know any of your names. I'm not a threat to you, right? I can get you the recording, but I need to be outside of this building.
You
I'll tell you
get us
what.
the recording, and we'll let you go.
I'll tell you what. Darrell, bit of his hair will allow you to find him, wouldn't it? No matter where he goes in the world.
Yeah.
Make me a deception check, and I will.
Yeah, I was going to say that's.
Yeah. No, that's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He rolled a number.
Completely and utterly out of character conversation. But Ian, has Darrell by any chance got what's the memory modification spell?
No, it's.
Modify
that's
memory.
the bard's
You've got to get where. You got to get where his penchant is for magic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah.
He only has
Modify memory
one or
also
two
only
spells.
does 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is this. Take a bit of your hair. You go get the thing. Okay.
I'll come with you.
Yeah.
I only need to step outside.
Yeah. If it pans out,
I just need reception. He holds up his phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go outside.
If it pans out, I'll help get you somewhere else in the world. Where do you want to go?
I'm holding you to that.
Yeah, I'll help you get somewhere else in the world.
I want to go to America.
Yeah, no
I
worries.
fucking love their guns, man. 8 rolls, alright.
No problem.
Cool. Liam, you go outside with this guy. He shuffles out of his seat. Heads. You guys literally just head outside. He makes sort of like step outside the restaurant. And he sort of like pulls out a pack of cigarettes, sparks one up, and takes out his phone and starts scrolling on it. Meanwhile, before that sort of completes, let's go back to Beren for a second. Beren, you have messaged you're messaging John again, yeah?
Yep.
What is your message?
Would be good to meet if my memory brackets laughing emoji close brackets is correct. You might be able to help me with something.
He messages back saying, "I hope so."
And I should reply actually.
Hundredth time the charm.
I should reply back. Aren't you good at finding people? ?
He just replies, "So."
Okay. Because when I met Rafi's partner, he said something about that was 6, wasn't it?
No, Ash.
No.
Ash, sorry.
Yeah.
And Ash said something about I had been
Searching for John.
searching for John. Sorry, I've misremembered that as searching for someone with John. Sorry, I misremembered that. Okay, anyway.
Yeah. No, you were searching for John.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously you needed to speak to him at whatever time. That was.
Everyone's taking the opportunity to make a few phone calls. Can I nip out to?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to phone Spence.
Cool. Yeah, go for it. So
Spence,
sorry, I think we're a bit delayed. Just off by each other.
After you.
Yeah. He answers the phone and says, "Hello, mate. Good thing you rang. I was about to ring you. What's up?"
A couple of things. It seems that a lot of the stuff down here, there's some third party, we haven't managed to find out who's playing the two major fiend gangs off against one another.
Are you currently wrapped up in all that fiend activity that's happening in London about half an hour ago to an hour ago?
We may have been involved in that. There may have been a little bit of a
You just hear him breathing down the phone. Mate. Okay.
You can't make an omelette without cracking a few eggs, mate. Come on.
Yeah, I wonder what you're doing in that kitchen. The kitchen looks like a mess from where I'm standing, buddy. We've had to do a little bit. I say we. The mundane relations department has had to do a bit of cleanup job. Things have ramped up a little bit. I don't know the full details. All I know is that
we did bring the big guns to that fight. That was them. We just had to respond.
I can imagine. I trust you. It's the only thing is that the council, Mortimer is not happy, and he's getting a lot of pressure from the higher ups at the moment about cracking down on certain activities. Where are you right now?
He's going to know this place. We're at Antonio's.
Antonio's, yeah. Right. Okay.
Which brings me to my other request.
Go for it.
We've got no proof of this, but we think there's some link between the there's a gin that was released
God damn it, I knew you were going to say that.
at Lord Renwick's.
Yep.
We think it might be, if not the third party, the link with the third party that's causing the grief in London.
Yeah, go.
Lord Renwick's assistant, Darrell, we found that she was a simulacrum when we questioned her the day before yesterday. But Darrell was a real person previous to that. One of our numbers is very, very clear that she was a human being previously.
Do you know
which
what her
makes
last
us wonder
name
whether
was?
she's. Do we know what her last name was? No.
No.
I don't know if we do. No.
No.
Sorry, Redwick will know that.
Yeah.
We need to. Our view would be, if she's alive, she might be with this third party. And I think we're after some way of scrying her location. As you know,
You are
that's
still
not one of my.
You're still actively working this investigation. That's good. That's very good. Okay.
There's just too many unknowns in it, though. We're struggling a bit as to. There's an issue, and I without rolling through, I'll explain the whole thing about the souls, disappearing,
Yeah.
whatever, and limbo, and there may be a need for us to investigate that later. But I think we're holding off on that until we've got a bit more information.
I think you guys are the only ones investigating this now. There's been everything's going just to shit with the circle spirits thing, the ley lines. It seems to be linked. We seem to have a link right now with what you told us before about Jin being involved. Our Order of the Star operatives had gone back to. You've been told about the counselor that was assassinated.
Yep.
It appears to be that potentially there was some fiend involvement there. That could maybe be something to do with these jinn. Some of our researchers have, our investigators, sorry, have been to the cleanup crew, went to the strangers' place, did the cleanup of the bodies. The bodies showing remarkable similarities in injuries to Councillor Lilith Knight, and we're being told that I have an arrest warrant in front of me for Lord Renwick because of
That's
the
wrong.
trouble this is.
That's wrong.
I know that's wrong, mate, but I can only do what I'm being told, and I need to. I can buy you some time, but unless you come up with some solid proof, then I've got to in the next. Well, by this evening, I need to carry this out. Val and Seth are both aware, and they're still at the property. Renwick isn't aware, obviously, and I would ask you to keep that to yourself.
Is there any?
There has been some suggestion that perhaps you and your team's involvement close to it may be linked in some way, but I trust you, and I hope that isn't misplaced. I would say that you are working under my orders in investigating this.
It's
But I'm putting
appreciated.
myself
I
out.
hope you understand that. Yeah, of course you can trust us. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
No, it's not fun, I can tell you.
Yeah, you're telling me I'm stressed.
This scry, is that going to be possible, or could there be a scroll involved? Get sent to me. I could do the spell myself.
I could probably work something out. For the purposes of just a second. For the purposes of this, I'm going to get you to do a persuasion check. You could do it with advantage because I'd say you and Spence have had a lot of history and are very good friends. And he really doesn't want to think that you and your team and you would have control over that. But he needs to know that he's putting his resources in the right place. So if you make it with advantage.
Make eyes.
Not quite. Yes. That one will do that, I think.
Right. He goes,
Another 19.
absolutely. I can have that sent over within the next hour. If you can go back to the if you head back to the you can't remember the fucking name of it, but the place in London where the Mages Council you transported into.
Yeah.
And I'll have it couriered over there magically. Let me know if you need anything else. But at the moment, there are eyes on you, just to pre-warn you. Not right now, obviously, but just on what you're going to report in. So just be aware.
Okay. I'm assuming I need to avoid Morty at this precise time as well, then.
I wouldn't talk to him. He's in a real bad mood. It's just
What's new?
It's bad. It's all bad. It's worse. It's just worse than usual. Have you? Yeah, with that persuasion check. He pauses for a moment, and he says, "Did you hear about what happened with his brother?" I
No.
don't think you have.
What happened with his brother?
I don't know, again, above my pay grade, and they're keeping it very hush-hush, but I think there's an investigation going on to do with Balthazar. And the senior council keeping it very tight to the chest because it's one of their own. I don't know what about. I just wondered whether perhaps you knew anything. All right.
No, Morty keeps that family stuff close to the chest, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't talk about his brother a lot, I don't think. Okay. No, I will send that over to you next hour. Keep me updated. And
will do.
That's it. He'll end the call. Andy, did you want to ask? Was the message between you and John to work out a time?
Yeah, I'd like to meet as soon as possible at the hotel or whatever it's called. Yeah.
He says that he can be there in the next hour or so.
Right. Okay. Are they going to go back into? Well, it sounds like some others have wandered off. Oh, also, sorry. Have I had any response from Mercy Ashcroft?
Yeah. What was your message to her again? It was the.
Is there anything else?
Is there any?
We're still investigating. Is there anything further I need to know?
She the message back doesn't come from her. It's signed from an aide, which has her phone.
Okay.
To they basically will keep it in reception at all times, basically, and the reply comes back from Mercy, but through the aide. When at some point tomorrow, we need to have a conversation about the incident with the junior councillor, Lilith Knight, and the circumstances surrounding her death. And she wants to know what you found out, but she doesn't want to do it over the phone. She wants to have a conversation in person. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to travel all the way up to Birmingham. That could be at somewhere like the hotel, or a meeting place of some such where she can thingy in. Also, could be done at the Mages Council's headquarters, whatever it is, in London.
Okay.
So you head back into the thing. Just going to quickly go out to Liam. Liam, you and Simon are outside. He's smoking a cigarette. He's quickly typing a load of things on his phone. You can, I assume you're probably watching what he's doing over his phone. Yeah.
Yeah. Watching him like a hawk.
He goes through like one of those private servers things on his phone. So it's like an app or something that is a bit. It's not like Discord. It's not well known. It's like something to share files over, encrypted and things like that. And sort of after searching for a little bit, he downloads something to his phone, and then he quickly opens it just to confirm what it is and that he's got it. You see the flash of some footage of the outside of somebody's house. It's all in sort of grey tones, and he goes, yeah, that's it, and just clicks it off for the moment so it doesn't play out here. And he goes, I got it. And
Well then.
puts out the cigarette, and he'll follow you back inside.
No,
So
he'll
you
go
can
in
all meet.
first.
Yeah.
I'll
So he'll go in
usher him in
first.
first. I'm not going to walk.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
follow
yeah.
me. Turn around. Where's he go?
Yeah, he's gone. Don't know where he went. No, he goes back inside, and sits back down at the table, and you can all rejoin the booth.
So B, just to say,
yeah, go for it.
I
Yeah.
have replied to Mercy Ashcroft, just saying understood,
Mm.
and just literally that. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. So he sort of waits for you all to sort of gather round, and plays this video that he's put the sound down really low, so you have to really strain to listen, but it ensures that nobody else is going to overhear. And the footage is of one of those Ring cameras. But it's only showing, at the moment, it's only showing the outsides of the building of wherever this is. And nothing seems to happen for a few minutes. And then somebody in like a hoodie with a beanie on and the things pulled up over the head of that. You all see, and he hasn't got his face covered, a young thin lad. Now in the recordings, because I haven't quite I think I said that the recordings will record you as you are, but the daze still covers it on the recording, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So you can see through the daze even though it's a recording. Yeah?
Right.
That makes sense? So you see the person for what he is. Let's see, a picture. Where are you? Where are you?
At home.
Yep, apparently. Where is he? I definitely had. Oh, there he is. So not looking as emo-ish as this picture. Obviously, you can see
Hasn't
where
been shared.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to. The hood doesn't cover his horns because it can't. Young-looking lad comes up to the doorway of the of this property, and every time his eyes flick around, you can see that they are pure black, which Raffi, you know, isn't like Ozzy. Ozzy's eyes are like normal coloured human eyes. But these are like full black.
Like we saw on the 2 Possessed with people in the...
Exactly that. And he's looking around the property, and he's got this air of confidence that looks weird around this slight figure that he's got. And he doesn't even knock on the door. There's just suddenly this growing shadows come out of him. He raises a fist back, and there's like a shadowed pair of secondary arms underneath his own that grow out from him.
Like the
and he
djinn.
smashes through like the djinn, and he smashes the door, and it just disintegrates. And he walks in. A couple of seconds later, you could hear crashes and screams and gunfire and things breaking. You cannot see what happens inside, but they use that image. They've sent this video to their people to identify who Ozzy is, and there is a very clear picture of who he is once you've paused it as he comes up to the front door. And that's what the footage is. And I think that's probably where we're going to leave it for this this evening. Until next
Perfect
session.
timing.
Excellent.
Very
Thanks very
interesting.
much.
What time
yeah,
is it at the moment?
At the time at the moment is probably around
1 minute
about
to
11
11.
o'clock.
3:30.
Okay, so it's only been a little short while on for me. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And we shall meet back next session to go over that information and what to do with it. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you in episode 27.
Thanks all. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Good
folks.
day, folks.
Bye.
So Hendrix, cute pooch, although I'm the wrong gender to say that to his face. If how he reacted to Ash's girls was anything to go by, he has an eye for the ladies, and he uses those sad puppy dog eyes to good effect. He's a walking stomach on 4 legs, though, so keep an eye on your rations. Deep down, though, there is something sad about Hendrix, and not just the eyes. Every now and then you catch him staring longingly at a door as if waiting for someone to walk in. Someone very special to him. He sees the party as his pack, and I guess he fancies himself the alpha male, although the way he dodges a fight, maybe not.